Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
There you go. Your Honor, can you hear us now?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, beautiful.
Thank you. We're on the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jabari Tobias Sapp. File number is 17-0680FY. Mr. Staff, are you eating?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
Do you need to come back or are you finished?
I'm finished.
Okay, very good. Mr. Sapp, today was the date set for an arraignment. This is for failure to pay. You were before the court back in July 19, 2022. You pled guilty to the charge Looks like you were on probation and got credit time served. And we referred a large balance of fines, costs, and restitutions to collections, that being $969.50. You were supposed to make payments and you didn't contact the court to do a payment arrangement. Why is that, sir?
Your Honor, I never received any mail on it. I didn't have an address for this case, so I never received any notice or anything. To this day, I'm just now getting the address. Some friends of mine are letting me use their address. I was homeless. I had no address. When they came and arrested me, I had lost my place of stay right then and there.
Okay, what is your address now, sir?
1509 Pennsylvania Avenue.
Is there an apartment at all?
It's a house.
Okay. And what's your phone number?
517-500-3393.
Okay. And are you employed now?
Yes, I was. But yesterday I started working at Spot Free Cleaning. That was my first day. Yesterday was.
When are you going to start making payments on this balance, sir?
I could start as soon as possible because I like I said, I had no idea that this was even in play.
Okay. Well, I need a date. I can't write down as soon as possible. I need a date that you're going to stick to, because if you don't stick to that date in the payment plan, then a warrant issues for you. So, because you got to get this taken care of. So when are you going to make a payment? You think about the fact that you just started a new job and you're trying to stabilize. So what's a meaningful time that you can use in order to get on your feet so that you can start making payments?
Well, August today is June. I can say the first week of July because I haven't even got paid yet. I don't even know if they're gonna hold back a week or they're gonna pay me. Or I don't know if it's every 2 weeks. Like I said, I just started, so I don't have all the information yet on the pay periods or nothing.
Okay, sounds good. So first week of July, it's gonna end on the 7th of July. I'm gonna note here, are you able to pay $25 on July 7th?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll note that you'll pay $25 July 7th and that you'll make a payment of $25 per month on the 7th of the month until paid in full, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have questions about how you make payments?
Yes.
Okay, you can make payments by coming up to the building. You'll make it at the criminal traffic window, or you can use your case number. That's the 17-06802 number. You can make payments online, or you can mail a check or money order to the court. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, you're all set then, sir. Thank you. On the record in the matter or matters of the people of the state of Michigan versus Marquise Chappelle. I have file numbers 22-03109 FY.
Your Honor, Mr. Chappelle is not in the room at the moment. We're going to save him for last.
Sounds good. On the record in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Joanne Renee Jackson. Counsel appearance.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Assistant Public Defender Melissa Vachon on behalf of Ms. Jackson for purposes of arraignment only, while she appears separately from the Lansing City Jail.
Thank you. You are Joanne Renee Jackson, correct?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Jackson, today's the date set for an arraignment. I do have a felony complaint here. The complaint alleges that on or about June 2nd, 2023 at 921 West Holmes, that's in the city of Lansing, Ingham County, state of Michigan, that you did allegedly contrary to law commit the act in count 1 of controlled substance possession of cocaine, heroin, or another narcotic less than 25 grams. The allegations are that you did knowingly or intentionally possess less than 25 grams of a mixture containing the controlled substance cocaine, and that this was done contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 333.74032AD. That's a felony. The maximum penalty is 4 years and or $25,000 in fines. Count 2 is an assault or assault and battery. The allegations is that you didn't make an assault or an assault and battery upon the following persons, that person being a Terry Jones, that this was done contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.811. Restitution may be ordered as this offense may have resulted in damage to another individual's property or physical injury or death to another individual. This is a misdemeanor. The maximum penalty there is 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under the law if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. Do you understand the charges and the maximum penalty attached to those charges?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay. Do you want me to reread the charges, or do you need me to explain what the charges are again?
No, ma'am, I don't.
Okay, so then you did understand what the charges were?
I understand what you said, yes.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so you have the following rights, ma'am. You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right in this matter to plead guilty. You have the right to plead not guilty, or you can stand mute. If you stand mute, we will set this matter for the next court date, and this matter will proceed to trial. In this matter, you are being charged with a felony. You have the right in the felony matter to have a preliminary examination. You have the right to have the preliminary examination within 21 days of your arraignment date. So that's within 21 days of today, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
That date can be waived, that 21-day timeline can be waived by you, or the court could find good cause in certain circumstances to go beyond that 21-day timeline. Do you have any questions about that so far?
No, ma'am.
You have the right to be represented by counsel. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, but you economically qualify, you can make a request to have court-appointed counsel appointed to represent you at the expense of the public. Do you understand that right?
Yes.
Okay. You have the right to the presumption of innocence in this matter. You're innocent until proven guilty. And you have the right to have the prosecution prove your guilt, and that they've proved that at trial. You have the right to a jury trial. And at the time of trial, You have the right to see, hear, or question any of the witnesses the prosecution intends to call. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence at trial that you believe furthers a defense to the charge. You have the right to have prosecutor prove each element of the charges being brought against you at trial beyond a reasonable doubt. You have a question, ma'am?
No, ma'am.
Okay. For the purposes of her arraignment, is she pleading not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and is she requesting court-appointed counsel?
Yes.
You're currently scheduled for a probable cause conference, ma'am, before Judge Tony Flores on June 16th, 2023 at 9 o'clock in the morning. You have an in-person preliminary examination scheduled before Judge Flores on June 23rd, 2023 at 9 o'clock in the morning, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Oh,
What's your home address?
3200 South Washington Avenue, apartment 137.
You said 137 or 147?
137.
Okay. Are you employed?
No, not at this time, ma'am.
Okay, what's your phone number?
You can reach me at 517-243-5243. Nightmare. Can I ask you a question, ma'am?
Absolutely.
How do I get charged with having drugs? I didn't have no drugs on me, ma'am. Can you
The
explain that?
allegations, well, the allegations is that there was drugs found on your person when you were received by the police. That's what the allegations are.
But that's not true. I didn't have
Okay,
any
well,
drugs.
I'm gonna stop you because you do have the right to remain silent, so I don't want you to say anything on the record that could be used against you, but to the extent that you believe you have a defense or information that would further your defense, you need to let your attorney know that, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Counsel, you can address bond.
Yes, Your Honor, I'd request a personal recognizance bond for Ms. Jackson today. I do not believe that she's a danger to herself or the community. She reported no criminal record to me, and she is presumed innocent of these offenses at this time, Your Honor. I also don't believe that she's a flight risk. She's never failed to appear for any court appearances in the past, and she's lived in the Lansing area since 2015. She has a lot of family here as well, including her mom, siblings, and nieces and nephews, Your Honor. So I'd request a PR bond.
Are you okay, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, ma'am.
You need we can go off the record so you can have a moment, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You have some tissue, Miss Jackson.
Please, I'm tired.
What I said, Ms. Jackson, this is not whether you're innocent or guilty today.
I know, it's wrong. I can't been having drugs. He searched my brain. You know he ain't found no damn cocaine in
Don't say that in here, talk to your attorney, okay?
Okay. I'm okay now. I'm all right.
It's okay, take your time.
Oh. Thank you.
You pull the chair up so they.
Yes, ma'am. I'm tired.
Okay, you're okay, Ms. Jackson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm gonna go over your bond conditions, okay?
Yeah.
Are you currently on probation or on parole?
No, ma'am.
Okay, have you ever missed court before?
No, ma'am. Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna issue bond in the amount of $500 personal recognizance. While out on bond, you have the following conditions. You need to make sure you report to all of your future court dates, okay?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I've given you those dates. Did you get a copy of your next court dates? A notice to
Yes,
appear?
ma'am. Yes.
Okay, okay. And so you can appear you have to appear in person for the preliminary examination. You do have the option of appearing via Zoom for your probable cause conference. If you appear via Zoom, ma'am, you need to make sure you're in a space appropriate to hold court, okay? It needs to be quiet. You need to be properly clothed, sitting in an upright position, ready to carry on an official court proceeding. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so you're also, while out on bond, you're not to use, purchase, or possess alcohol or drugs without a valid prescription. Due to the nature of count one, I am going to order that you undergo substance abuse testing while out on bond.
Oh.
You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. There's a no contact order that's in place for the protection of a Terry Jones. You're not to be within 1,500 feet of wherever Terry Jones is, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Whoever she is.
You're not to be at the address of 921 West Holmes, which is the location of where the incident allegedly occurred, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any questions about your bond conditions at this time?
No, ma'am.
Any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, you're all set, ma'am.
Thank you.
You're welcome. On the record in the matter, the people of the state of Michigan versus Angelo Antoine Williams. I have two files. There's a new file that I also have. Looks like there's two new files. Counsel appearance.
Assistant Public Defender Melissa Vachon on behalf of Mr. Williams for purposes of arraignment only while he appears separately via Zoom.
Okay, Mr. Angelo, today's the date set for an arraignment. First, I have a felony complaint here. It alleges that on or about April 2nd, 2023, at the area of 3612 South Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly, contrary to law, commit the act in count 1 of assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation. The allegation is that you did make an assault upon a Brian Miller with the intent to do great bodily harm less than murder, contrary to MCL 750.84. That's a felony. The maximum penalty is 10 years and or $5,000 in fines. Your DNA is to be taken upon arrest, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. In the alternative to count 1, you've been charged with a count 2. That's an assault with a dangerous weapon, also known as a felonious assault. The allegation is that you did make an assault upon a Brian Miller with a dangerous weapon, that being a pistol, but without intending to commit the crime of murder or to inflict great bodily harm less than the crime of murder. And this was done contrary to MCL 750.82. That's a felony. Maximum penalty is 4 years and or $2,000 in fines. Again, a DNA sample is to be taken upon your arrest, and a consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement. There's a count 3. That's weapons, firearms possession by felon. The allegation is that you did possess or transport or carry a firearm when ineligible to do so because you had been convicted of controlled substance possession of cocaine, heroin, or other narcotic less than 25 grams, which is a specified felony, and that is punishable by imprisonment of 4 or more years, and that the requirements for regaining eligibility to carry had not been met. And this was done contrary to MCL 750.224F. That's a felony. The maximum penalty is 5 years and or $5,000, and a mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device is required under the law. There's a count 4 of weapons felony firearm. It did allege, or it does allege, that you did carry or have on your person a firearm, that being a pistol, at the time you allegedly committed or attempted to commit the felony, that being assault with intent to do great bodily harm less than murder or by strangulation. And that is a felony. Maximum penalty 2 years consecutively with and preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the felony or attempted felony conviction. There's a mandatory weapon forfeiture of the weapon or device required under the law. There's a count 5, weapons felony firearm, alleging that you did carry or have on your person a firearm, that being a pistol, at the time you allegedly committed or attempted to commit the felony of assault with a dangerous weapon, also known as felonious assault, and that this was done contrary to MCL 750.227B. There's also a count 6 of weapons felony firearm, alleging that you did have on your person a firearm or pistol at the time that you committed or allegedly committed the act of weapons firearms possession by felon, and that this is contrary to MCL 750.227B. Counts 5 and 6, as well as count 4, for felonies. Maximum penalty in each is 2 years consecutively and with a preceding any term of imprisonment imposed for the felony or attempted felony conviction. Again, there's a mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device required by law. The other file I have here is a misdemeanor complaint. The allegations are that on or about June 2nd, 2023, at the area of 3304 North Waverly, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly in count 1 commit the act of child abuse 4th degree, and that you did knowingly or intentionally commit the following act or acts that under the circumstances pose an unreasonable risk of harm or physical injury to a child by failing to supervise child who wandered into busy street. This was done contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.136B, 7 through 8. Restitution may be ordered as this offense may have resulted in damage to another individual's property or physical injury or death to another individual under MCL 780.811A. That's a misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 1 year in jail and or probation for up to 5 years. Count 2 is the same as count 1, and that is again child abuse 4th degree. The allegation again is that you did knowingly or intentionally commit the following acts or acts that under the circumstances posed an unreasonable risk of harm or physical injury to a child by failing to supervise the child who wandered into a busy street. This was done contrary to MCL 5750.136B 7 through 8. Again, restitution may be ordered under the law, and the maximum penalty is a misdemeanor, 1 year in jail or probation of up to 5 years. So in both files, sir, do you understand each of the charges that was read and the maximum penalty attached to each charge?
Yes, Your Honor, but can I ask you a question, please?
Yes, but let me first advise you that you have the right to remain silent. So anything you say, anything you put in writing can be used against you. So with that understanding, if you'd like to ask a question, and if your question will not give away anything that could be used against you, you can proceed.
Okay, well, you'll let me know if I can't say it. April 2nd, I was with my kids at a hotel. Their birthday is April 3rd. I do not know what's going on.
Okay, so that's information that you would need to provide to your attorney, and they can further investigate that to help formulate your defense to the charge, okay?
Okay.
So that's the allegation, okay?
So is it one assault, or you said the word multiple cases? So is it
I'm sorry, you said,
is it one
assault? There is in that file, there's a count 1 assault allegedly occurring on April 2nd at 3612 South MLK. Okay?
Okay.
And that assault is an assault with intent to do great bodily harm, less than murder or by strangulation. In the alternative to count 1, you're being charged with count 2 of assault with a dangerous weapon, felonious assault. So that's a lesser included charge. So if at the time of your preliminary examination, they don't, or they're not able to provide sufficient facts to support count 1, they're requesting that the court consider count 2. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any other questions about the charges that have been read today or the maximum penalties?
No.
Okay, so you have the following rights. You have the right to remain silent again. Anything you say and anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty. You have the right to plead not guilty. And you have the right to stand mute. You have the right in the file with the assaults, because you're being charged with felonies, to proceed to preliminary examination. You have the right to have preliminary examination within 21 days of your arraignment date. So that's 21 days of today. That date can be waived by you if, after discussing with your attorney, you believe you want to waive that timeline for various reasons, or the court for various reasons could find good cause to go beyond that 21-day timeline and set a new date. But for now, that date for your probable cause conference is scheduled for June 15th, 2023 at 9:30 before me, Judge Kristen Simmons. You have a preliminary examination in person before me on June 23rd, 2023 at 9:30 in the morning. Okay, did you get a notice to appear for those dates?
Yes.
Okay, the files that was read, or the charges that was read as it relates to child abuse 4th degree, you'll get a notice in the mail about when your pretrial will be for that. And I'm inclined to believe that that will be assigned to me, or I'll have it transferred to me since I have the felony file, okay?
Okay.
So you'll get notice in the mail. As to your rights, you have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until proven guilty. You have the right to proceed to a trial in both of these files. At the time of trial, you have the right to remain silent and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to see, hear, question, or confront any of the witnesses that have been named or that are called to testify against you. You have the right to present evidence at the trial that you believe further a defense to your charge or the charges being brought against you. You have the right to cross-examine any of those witnesses. And you have the right to have the prosecutor have to meet their burden at trial, which is to prove each element of each of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. Do you have any questions about those rights so far?
No.
You have the right to be considered for pretrial release from custody. We'll address your bond in just a moment. You have the right to be represented by counsel. If you cannot afford to hire an attorney, but you economically qualify, you can make a request to have the public defender's office represent you at the expense of the public. Do you understand those rights?
Yes.
You have the right to plead guilty, plead not guilty, or stand mute. If you stand mute, this matter will be set for a trial, okay? Is he requesting court-appointed counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
For the purposes of your arraignment, the court will enter not guilty pleas on both files. Are you currently on probation or parole?
Yes.
Which one?
Probation.
Before this court or another court, the 30th Circuit Court?
It's here.
Which judge put you on probation?
I forgot her name. It's a female. I forgot her name. Boy.
I'm asking. Again, what?
I think it's Ward. It's Ward.
I'm not seeing, let me find it. Come on, here. Okay, how much more time do you have on probation?
I got a year left.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
Not anymore.
What's your home address?
941 McCullough Street, Lansing, Michigan, 48910. I mean, no, 112.
What's your phone number?
773-691-0970.
Counsel, you can address bond.
Yes, Your Honor, I'd request a personal recognizance bond or the alternative, a low 10% bond for Mr. Williams today. He does have significant ties to the Lansing area. He has a lot of family here and he lives with his grandfather at this time, Your Honor, so he has a good support system at home. So I don't believe that he's a flight risk. He's also never failed to appear for any court appearances in the past before. And he also is receiving supervision through his term of probation, Your Honor. Thank you.
Do you have another matter pending in this court right now?
Yes,
It's assaultive?
yes.
That wasn't mentioned, counsel.
I apologize, Your Honor. I wasn't aware of that one.
So defendant has another case pending, file number 23-01521 FY, which is a felony, where he's charged with an assault, murder, felonious assault, and weapons possession by felon and a felony firearm that allegedly occurred on or about April 30th of this year. He also has another file number 23-01523 FY, where he's charged with a concealed weapon pistol in count 1, count 2, weapons possession by felon, count 3, police officer, assault, resist, obstruct. These offenses allegedly occurred on May 16th. Then we have the present case, or the present two cases. So there's a concern for the public safety. There is a request from the prosecutor's office for a cash-only bond. That request will be granted due to the extensive nature of the defendant's criminal history, the pending charges, the allegations noted in this case, and those that are pending, and the fact that he's currently under supervision in court order when these incidents allegedly having occurred. So bond will be issued in the amount of $75,000 cash only. While out on bond, you have the following conditions. You're not to have contact directly or indirectly with Brian Miller. You're not to be within 1,500 feet of wherever Mr. Miller is. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Oh. You're not to use, purchase, or possess drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're not to engage in the assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to travel outside the state without prior approval of the court. Not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. You need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release. Do you have any questions about those conditions?
No.
As to the child abuse cases, bond will be set in the amount of $2,000 personal recognizance. Same bond conditions will apply there. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Did you get a copy of your notice to appear?
Yes.
Okay, any additional matters for the record, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
You're all set, sir. Thank you.
Your Honor, give us one moment. We'll have Mr. Chappelle in the room.
No problem.
Right up to
Thank you, okay?
we're back, Your Honor.
For feeding me garbage that's
Mr.
Well,
Chappelle,
that's not good to my vitality. I lost 1, 2, 3, 4 teeth. Within being in jail since 2017, I lost 4 teeth in your county jails. And the teeth that I lost, I beat all the charges. So where's my compensation? You got bleach bread. I don't eat bleach. Who fucking cooks with bleach? Are you serious? Nah, you want me to go to the new jail and eat
Excuse
some
me.
garbage?
Excuse me, who are you talking to?
The public. This is a public
Okay.
announcement. This is on record,
Okay.
isn't it?
I need to conduct an arraignment, so you're gonna have to be quiet, okay?
Okay, I thought I could talk to my attorney for a second.
Well, you did have an opportunity to speak to your attorney before coming out here, is that correct?
Yeah, but the circumstances that I'm in are triggering PTSD and traumatizing memories in my brain.
We'll have time to talk more later.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and discontinue the arraignment because it doesn't sound like you're in the mental capacity upon which I can conduct a meaningful arraignment. I'm gonna remand you to have a evaluation, okay?
Where at, Judge, Your Honor?
Community mental health. Thank
Okay.
you. Counsel, I think that's the last I have. I'm not going to go back and forth conducting an arraignment where I have to be interrupted. If you need to speak with him again, that's fine. I'm going to have him evaluated though.
Okay, Your Honor.
Thank you. The jail is muted, by the way. He could be removed though. Thank you.